Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Craft of the Titans. So, since the last episode, let me go ahead and run you guys over there and show you what I've done. I did add a little bit of sorting stuff. First up, right back here I added a controller slave that has a remote awareness upgrade, just so that all of our drawer system is plugged into that, and this actually has a higher priority of 20. Okay, so anything that comes into here, if it can go into the drawers, it'll go in the drawers. So that's all set up. I will say that we're going to move all that and refine it a lot more and stuff in the very near future, but it's not the top priority at the moment. And then if we pop on over, most of my work was outside of this area. First off, I did do the frame. I haven't actually built this tower out, and the tower opposite it is not built out yet. It's just kind of the frame. I've got those started and the shape and stuff in place. Hopefully by next episode I'll have that done. Maybe. We're going to do another speed build, so it's possible that it'll be done. The speed build will probably be out, I'm thinking, on Sunday. I've got a kind of a busy weekend this weekend since it's my birthday weekend. But that should be out, I should say, by Sunday. So, anyways, right over here, I've got a rain shield. These are actually very easy to craft. I know I've talked about these in my IC2 Classic series a little bit, or we made one. Just flint, blaze rod, some netherrack, and basically what it does is it prevents rain. Because I know last episode, was it last episode or a speed build? I can't remember, but I had a comment about the rain. So I got that crafted up. This tower over here is actually built out, so to speak. It goes all the way down. So I did manage to get one of those done. And it actually does not take that long, I'll be honest with you. But I did do a bit of mining and different little things like that. And also a lot of work over here. So we'll pop over here real quick. Also I did mine up a bit of dreadstone bricks and whatnot. So but we'll use those in the speed build. We'll finish out the flooring and work a lot on that kind of stuff. But if we go ahead and park ourselves right here. First up, instead of having the crafter, I don't know why I crafted the crafter, because I was thinking, like, we'll set up the crusher once we had better power situation to start with, but then it was like the crafter took power. I don't know what I was thinking, so I do apologize. But I did make a crusher from Actually Additions. These aren't very expensive at all. And basically this crusher just breaks down the sugarcane into sugar. And if we take a look here, you get 3 sugar for 1 sugar cane. And you can see here, I mean, it's just iron casing. It's all a bunch of little pieces that we've covered before, so no big deal. And then the whole process is pretty much the same. You know, it goes in the vat. It goes in here. Oh, I need to put more redstone in here. That's fine. Let me go grab some real quick. I actually just went mining. Well, I did a couple mining trips since last episode, so we're good on redstone. Also, by the way, one thing I forgot to show you guys is we now have a teleporter here that goes down to the mine. This one actually goes down below us. This one goes to the mine. So right down here, you remember when we used to live here? Very, very temporary. I think it was like, what, the first episode? Yeah, so we got about 2,000 redstone. So I'll go ahead and get like a couple stacks of that. And I did have to go make up a little bit of gunpowder, but it's not really a big issue. To do that, and as you saw, I mean, we're good on rocket fuel at the moment. The only reason we've been running through it a little bit quicker right now is because I've been repairing my armor using the item repairer. And that thing, if you guys aren't familiar with it, that thing is a power hog, to say the least. So it does use up a little bit of rocket fuel to do that. Actually, my helmet's done. I'm going to throw my boots back in there. We'll put that on. By the way, I did upgrade all the armor. It now has, in addition to enlightened, all the armor pieces have frozen and hardened as well. So, but we will be changing out armor. Actually, we could do it right now. I have a lot of the Dreadium stuff, and it's actually a little bit better. The armor value is the same, but it's better armor toughness. So, I don't know if we'll bother. I don't know. Because at the same time, the lava leggings have all that fire resist, and if I fall in the lava, it just doesn't hurt me. So, I kind of think I'd rather have that. But anyways, we have plenty of rocket fuel. And if we look over here, I built out the rest of these magmatic dynamos, so we have 4 on each line. So we have 16 magnetic dynamos. They're all upgraded to reinforced. So, you know, that's the second tier. It goes hardened and then reinforced. Basically, reinforced just a bit of electrum and some fused quartz. So it's not terribly expensive. And then if we pop on down here, this is where I did a lot of work. A lot of work. Basically just refining the whole system and whatnot. I did add additional drawers here. Netherwort, dye, essence, and fertilizer. All in here. I also upgraded this pulverizer to reinforced. And yeah, I mean, that's the main thing as far as the drawer system and that system over there goes. Now down here, not all of this is set up just yet, but most of it is. I hate that sound. So first up, I did have a suggestion about the fertilized dirt. Totally forgot about that from random things. It actually cannot be trampled, it doesn't need water, and it grows stuff a little bit faster. So I did change everything over to fertilized dirt. It's very, very cheap. So you can actually make it with just turds. So if you take a look here, rotten flesh, bone meal, and dirt. Not very bad. Or you can do it with the turds and the dirt as well. And that makes 6 of them. And that's actually how I crafted it, but it's really just up to your preference, I guess. Also, the sugarcane is planted on it. Of course, it's not hoed for the sugarcane, but it keeps the sugarcane from requiring water, and it actually causes it to grow a bit faster. Now, these auto breakers are all the way around the room, but the ones on the interior aren't set up yet. That's why the sugarcane on the interior is a lot higher. I was crafting auto breakers, and I was like, okay, I basically just got tired of crafting auto breakers, more or less is what happened. But we have nearly a full drawer of sugarcane now, and nearly a full drawer of potatoes. I'm actually going to grab another one of those stacks and get that cooked up, because I'm using that for baked potatoes. And now, since we don't need water, I have the conduits ran underneath the floor. So, I actually found that I had 3 growth accelerators in my iron backpack. Didn't even realize it. So, I did set up some more of those, and I actually got a few more from a loot bag as well. So, now I will say that the dye seeds and the netherwort's temporary. The only reason they're planted here is to help make it a little bit easier for me building the base. Eventually, this floor will all be potatoes and sugarcane. So sugarcane in the corner, potatoes all throughout here, and we will, of course, upgrade the rocket fuel production. But right now, we're producing plenty of rocket fuel, and until I get gunpowder and redstone automated, I'm in no rush to increase rocket fuel production speed. So, anyways, that's the majority of the stuff I've done, I think. The majority of the time was spent making machines and building. Anyways, like I said last episode, today we are going to be focusing on magic the entire episode, because there is a lot of stuff related to magic that I want to get into right now. So if we take a look here, there's a couple different places. We're going to start with blood magic, I think, because blood magic is one of those things. It's so much fun to start it, and I'm being totally sarcastic. I hate the blood grind. But anyways, we have, I believe it's generating power. Yeah. There's a quest here to get a magician's blood orb. And then there's also the blood magic mastering quest. So here is where we're actually going to start. They want us to make a rudimentary snare. They also want us to make a sentient sword. They're going to give us 32 blank slates and 16 gummy bears. So, of course, the first thing that we're going to have to make is the snare. So this just requires string or infernal string, some redstone, some iron. Not really a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get 16 of these. If I recall correctly, that's how high they stack. Yes. Okay. Well, I got a few extra. But, and the reason being is because, in my experience, you go through these. Because it tends to never be first try that you actually get the snare to work. And so I'd rather just make a few extra. So we should have that quest ready to turn in. And we're going to get a sanguine scientine. Okay. Huh. Is it bad that I did not know that this was a thing? I've actually never used this. And it's basically like the book. I didn't even realize, for some reason, I guess I'd never noticed it in any eye. Maybe it's not always, is it actually within blood magic? Or is it Guide API? I think it's Guide API that adds it. That's probably why I never even... Yeah, it's Guide API. Okay. Yeah, I never even knew that was a thing. Anyways, next up they want us to get... It looked like a soul demonic wheel thing. Yeah. So they want us to get 2 demonic wheels, and they're going to give us some heart crystal shards, artifact loot bag, and all that good stuff. So, let's go out. We're going to go hunting. We are going to go hunting zombie. And, thing. Oh, I don't want you, actually. If at all possible. By the way, I did clean up a lot of that stone and stuff they had been building up. Okay. Send me the mobs. Oh, and I buffed the damage on our weapon, too. I'll show you in just a second. But... Oops. Oops. Okay, I'm actually out of snares. I missed a couple hits, but I didn't get any white particles on any of those. That's what I'm saying is that's not... Oh my gosh, really? It's that elemental that's smacking me right now, which is great. Okay, basically I upgraded... I've actually got a bit of tool stuff that I worked on. Totally forgot to mention that. Right here, our Onyx Longsword now has Sharpestest on it. So it does have maximum damage. It is 30.86 attack damage. And then our Rapier also has Sharpestest, and it has 15.66 attack damage, which isn't bad because of the attack speed on that Rapier. Also, I did make us a Lapis pickaxe, a new one. And you notice it's leveled a bit. And then in addition, I added Unbreaking to it. So if we take a look here at the Lapis pick, and thank you, Xavian, for pointing this out. Right here where it says tool is broken, basically what this does is it gives it Unbreaking. Some obsidian plates and diamond plates, that's going to give it Unbreaking. So I did add that to it. It does take a stack of diamonds, so just a heads up. But we have currently, we now have 270. So not really a big concern. And I tell you what, I am going to... make 2 stacks. I'm going to go down into the mine. In my experience, it's better to hit like zombies or creepers with this. Or not creepers, but zombies or skeletons with this. I don't know if how well it works with the added mobs. I am going to kill off one of these guys. See, this is what I'm talking about. It takes snares for days. Actually, you know what? I just realized I have particles turned off because of these constant effect buffs. Okay. My bad. But we did get our 2 demonic wheels. We have a 0.14 wheel quality and a 0.89, both of which is terrible. So I'm going to try to get a little bit better because we're going to want at least a 1. At least a 1 quality on these. Anyways, we've got enough to turn in that quest. So let's go ahead. Let's see. Blood Magic Mastering. We'll turn that in. We get 3 Heart Crystal Shards and our Artifact Loot Bag. And next up, they want us to make the Blood Altar. And we'll get a Sacrificial Dagger for that. They also want us to get a Hellfire Forge. And they're going to give us 2 Demonic Wheels. That would be useful, actually. And then they also want us to make a Sentient Sword. So we may, since we get Demonic Wheels, we may not actually need to worry too much about the Demonic Wheel quality. I'll tell you what, before I forget, I am still running this, by the way, just because it's more convenient, I guess, having it over here right now. That'll be sorted probably by the next speed build, I think. By the way, Heart Crystals, we have a bunch of them. So let's go ahead and actually update these. There we go. And I'm going to throw all this stuff into here. I love having that magnet ring, by the way. And what do we got in this? We have a Mana Martini. Shaken, not stirred. Okay, sounds good. So anyways, the first thing, let's go ahead and make our Hellfire Forge. This thing's not very expensive. Block of iron. I am going to need block of iron, though. So let me get one of those. Then the Hellfire Forge. There we go. And then the Blood Altar. Let's see. For that, we're going to need a furnace, demonic wheel, gold. I'm so ready to get rid of this thing. I am not a fan of the inventory panel, personally. I've never been a fan of it. It drives me insane. Okay, this recipe is not wanting to shift-click in here, so I'm going to have to manually do it. So there's our Blood Altar. Awesome. So that's 2 quests to turn in real quick. Hellfire Forge, we get 2 demonic wheels, and then the Blood Altar, we'll get our sacrificial dagger. Okay. And the wheels we got a... They have no wheel value. They're just there. They are just there to hang out. Okay, so we're going to set that up right there for right now, and we're going to go ahead and make our sentient sword. That way we won't ever have to worry about snares ever again. So it's basically just iron sword, and then we're going to have to get ourselves a petty tartaric gem. These are crafted. I'm going to have to go get a little bit more wheel then, possibly. Yeah, when I shift-click these in here, they have a wheel quality of 0. Awesome. Good. Okay, so we're going hunting again. I'm going to get 2 more stacks of these things. And I tell you what, before we go out, I am going to turn particles back on. It's going to be super annoying for us personally. Oops. Well. Huh. It's not actually doing the particles anymore. Okay, I just got a wheel with 2.91. That's plenty. That is plenty, because once we get our tartaric gems, that'll actually make both of the tartaric gems that we need, and to really get us started. And then the sentient sword as well will be set. So that sounds good to me. And the fact that we have the item repairer is going to make our lives a lot easier as well. So just a heads up. Anyways, we're going to need gold, redstone, lapis, and glass. So I'll tell you what, gold. And we're going to go ahead and get 2 of each of these. But the reason being is we're actually going to want 2 of these tartaric gems, not just 1. So we'll put this into there. We'll throw in our glass, our redstone, our gold, and our lapis. And get this crafting up. And then we're also going to want an iron sword. So there's that. There's our first petty tartaric gem. And there's our second petty tartaric gem. And now this one actually doesn't require any kind of minimum wheel or anything, so we'll just throw that stuff in there. It's not going to take from this anyways. And there we go, sentient sword. Okay, so now we should have this quest done. And getting 32 blank slates, that's awesome. Now we actually have some blank runes, and I think some different other runes as well, which is really going to help us jumpstart blood magic a lot. It's actually going to get us past a lot of the grindy stuff, so I'm actually really excited about that. And we get some gummy bears as well. So next up, they want us to make a weak blood orb. We get a blood magic blood altar upgrades book. Oh, this book reward offers very valuable information about the custom changes made to blood magic in this mod pack. It is highly recommended that you read through it. Okay. And it says, as usual, we would like to better prepare you for the elevated level of difficulty present in this mod pack. Deposit the sentient sword you crafted and I shall enchant it for you. And they talk about adding demonic wheel. It gains damage as you collect demonic wheel. It does. And you actually get more demonic wheel quicker the more demonic wheel that you have. And in addition, luck works, or looting works as well. So we're going to put looting on this pretty quickly. This episode, but they're actually going to give us one that has sharpness 25. It's normally 1 attack damage. It's going to buff it up to 14 attack damage, but it is archaic level and it'll get upgrades and stuff. So let's go ahead and upgrade this. Claim. And then let's see, alchemy array relay. They want us to make arcane ashes. Oh, they're going to give us reinforced slates. Well, anyways, we have our sentient sword now. Yeah. And let me throw this stuff into there. And that. We should have, let's see, blank runes. We have 10 of those. And we have a rune of augmented capacity. So actually not as many as I thought we had, but still not bad. Okay, so blank runes, and then for the blood orb, that one's what, like a block of gold or a diamond? I can't remember. Diamond. Okay. So we'll just grab one diamond, and I guess let me go ahead and grab this, because we are going to move it. And let me get a chest as well. Alright, so I'm just going to put a chest. Well, actually, let's set down the blood altar first. And I think... Okay, so right there is the middle point. So that's where we're going to put our blood altar. And this is the tower that we're going to put it in. Now, I will say that we're going to go ahead and build it up a little ways. Okay, so we're going to put it basically at this level. Because I want the area underneath it, you know, at the other place we have a bit of area for the farms and the growth things and growth accelerators and all that stuff. Basically in this one I want the bottom floor to be for mob spawning, because we're going to eventually set our altar up with the ritual and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and plan for mob spawns below us. So let's go ahead and we'll put down our altar right there, and then light this up real quick. Okay, and I guess realistically I could go ahead and put down this rune of augmented capacity. Might as well. And then we'll just go ahead and kind of lay this out a little bit. At least that much of it. And that should be high enough and everything that the blood altar can all safely go in here and still have room for mob spawners and all that good stuff. If not, I can always raise it up, but... Anyways, let's go ahead and get ourselves a bit of blood in this thing, and luckily I have a lot of things at my disposal. And we'll go ahead and throw these diamonds in here, or that diamond in here. And there we go. There's our blood orb. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Now that one quest wanted us to get a magician's. That's actually the 3rd tier up, so we're still a ways off from that. But now we can turn in our next blood magic mastering quest. There we go. And the next quest, they want us to make 28 blank runes, and they're going to give us some displacement runes, some stone drum filled with life essence. That's actually a really bad drum though. Then some ender fluid conduits. Now since we got that book, I'm going to just run over and I'm going to read through it real quick, just to see and kind of get an idea of the changes within blood magic for this pack. And so I'll be back in a minute, and I think we've got all those golden buckets of blood. I think those would work. Let's see. Yeah, see these right here? They have different amounts of blood in them. I'm pretty sure those would work. It's really not a lot of blood though. That's like... It's like less than half a stab per bucket right there. Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of particles. I think it's from like the mob debuffs or something like that, so I'm going to turn those back off. Because they'll get annoying pretty quick. But yeah, so 1 second. I'm going to have a quick read through this and see what all there is as far as changes and stuff go. Okay, there's actually not a whole lot of pages in this, and there's not really a whole lot of changes to take note of. Basically, it just talks about the different blood orbs and stuff. It shows you pictures of how to build out the altar. That's actually not necessary at all. And then it talks about the meteors. So there's not a whole lot really to worry too much about in that book. So we're just going to go ahead and... Actually, I'm going to throw it in the chest over by the blood magic area. But let's get ourselves... my personal favorite... actually, what else on this stuff? Oh, nothing I need. Actually, now that I think about it, can I put this? I can. Okay, we're going to put it into there then. And the Sanguine Scientum we'll put in there. I almost forgot that was in here, because a lot of the books we've gotten so far won't go into that. But let's get ourselves just a book. Why is my airship on fire? What's going on over here? Okay. I guess maybe it has a fire arrow on it or something. I don't know. But basically, the best way, in my personal opinion, to build out your altar is to just make the Inspectorus Scandalum. So let's go ahead. We'll get ourselves a little bit more paper and some leather. Really wish this would stop burning. I don't like it. I do not like it at all. Place looks like a war zone down there. It's crazy. Just holes all over the place. Okay, so we'll just throw the book into the blood altar and let that start crafting up. And there we go. Our Inspector Scandalum. Basically, we're just going to shift right click, set it to tier 6, and then just shift right click it on the blood altar. So you can see that if we were to build it all the way out, oh, actually, that right there is an issue. I was planning for a tier 5 altar when I decided to put it down here. I didn't think about the tier 6 being added now. So, that's okay though. I think I can move it and I can change things. It'll be fine. Right now, I just want to get into Blood Magic. The book, the Blood Magic book thing that we got for the mod, did say that the primary goal right now is just to get to Blood tier 4. So that's the major concern right now. So anyways, that quest for Blood Magic, they want us to make 28 blank runes. Well, we've already got 10. I'm assuming that those will work. To make the blank runes, we're just going to need a bunch of stone and some blank slates and then our blood orb. Okay. So let me go get some stone. I really wish that would stop burning. Okay, I'll tell you what, I really don't have very much smooth stone, so we'll just go ahead, make some compressed stone and break it down. There we go. And actually, can I put the Inspectus scan? No, can't do that. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and convert these blank slates over. I'm going to want 18 blank runes. So there's 20. I'm going to need some more blank slates. That's fine. Okay, so we just need 2 more. We're going to need 4 more blank slates. Then, of course, I am going to need more blank slates than that for actually upgrading it. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get a... Let's see. Let's get ourselves a filter. I actually had one made. I know why I had one made. I crafted one and didn't need it before. And then let's get ourselves like a couple item conduits. And then we're going to get just a couple... Actually, I can just use this glass chest and this royal chest. That's fine. Not too concerned about that. And let's see, for speed runes, that's going to be the first thing I want to go for, probably. That's 2 sugar, blank slates. None of that stuff's a problem. So I think I'm going to go for like 16... What is it? 20? Yeah, we'll go for 20 blank slates right now. So we'll put our royal chest like right here. We'll put our glass chest right here. Throw our item conduits down. We'll say you can extract, always active. You can insert. You can extract. Oh, but I'm going to need to set the filter. And we'll say that you can insert. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our first blank slate real quick. Because I'm going to have one to set the filter for this. And while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and just put this chest down. I'm going to throw all this like excess wheel in there. We'll put the Hellfire Forge like right here. So we've got it out. This I'm going to need on me. That I'm going to need on me. We'll throw that in there. And yeah. Should be good now. Okay, so there's our blank slate. And we'll just set a filter real quick and say that you can pull out blank slates. Always active. And then I can just throw all this stone into there. And it's going to start crafting up all of that. And I know I could do the incense altar and all of that. I'm just not bothering with it. Because this pack, honestly, this pack is set up in a way that you can really, like, jumpstart into Blood Magic really heavily, I guess you could say. Because, I mean, they're giving us, like, free runes and all that stuff. So I don't really see a point even bothering with it. I mean, once we get these slates made, we will be on the fast track to Blood Magic. Okay, our blank slates are done. I actually made more than I intended to, but that's fine. I actually want to keep, like, actually in this chest, I want to keep at least 1 blank slate at all times. That way I can set the filter because we will want to change that and stuff as we go. So, alright, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead. We're going to head back over here real quick. And I will say we're going to try to do a little bit of Ars Magica towards the end of the episode. I was wanting to do some Abyssal Craft too, but Blood Magic and Abyssal Craft, both big mods. There's a lot to do to get them started. And so I think today's main focus will be Blood Magic. So I guess I'll go ahead and dump. I've just got a drawer right now for compressed cobble because I have so much of it after I go mining. So that's why that's there. The blank runes, let's go ahead and get 2 more of those. There we go. And then our Blood Magic Mastering quest should be done. There we go. So we're going to get 8 Displacement Runes, 16,000 Life Essence, meh, and then some Ender Fluid Conduits. So sounds good. Okay, so next up they want us to make the Magician's Blood Orb. They're going to give us a Dusk Ritual Diviner. Awesome. Also the Bound Blade. And then they want us to make some Arcane Ashes. Arcane Ashes really aren't normally that expensive. Let's take a quick look here. And they actually, let's see, bone meal, redstone, coal, and gunpowder, and it requires 0 wheel. So we'll go ahead and get that. It was, okay, so there's all of that. And we'll have to start grinding up Tartaric gems here very, very quickly. Now, I will say the best thing to do is have 2 of them and just kind of tier them up together because you're going to need wheel in each one to upgrade the other and all that mess. So, actually, I should have got stuff to make another one of those, in fact. There's our Arcane Ashes, and that quest should be done. We don't need it right this second, but there we go, and we get 16 Reinforced Slates. I feel like we're getting through Blood Magic at a decent pace right now. The next thing I want to do, let's see. Alright, these Displacement Runes, we could use those to upgrade the altar, but I think I'm going to focus on the first 8 runes I'm going to put down are going to be speed. They really are. And then after that, I won't mind doing the displacement because like I said, this first altar is going to be for just blood generation. So we are going to want to move that out of there, but not right this second. Right this second, I just want to get an altar up and going. And I want one that, you know, has a decent crafting speed and stuff. So I think we've got everything on us that we're going to need for our speed runes. Yeah, so there's 8 of those. And then I want to go ahead and get a better drum as well, because the drum they give us is really, really dinky. And honestly, we're at the point now where block of mithril. Oh, okay, never mind. Reinforced, no, that's not going to happen. Iron drums, however, are going to happen. So let's go ahead and get like 2 of these, and we'll just store 2. All right, so we are all set on that. And what's the next quest they want us to do? Basically, we're just going to need to level up our altar a little bit. Because right now, you know, we've just got the tier 1. So let's go ahead and we'll get a tier 2. And then I guess we'll get a tier 3, right? Was the quest for Apprentice Blood Orb, or was it for Magicians? Huh. Okay. So this is all, both of these are pretty much in the same place. It's going to be a tier 3 altar. The Bound Blade, we're going to use it to get tier 4 stuff. And then the Blood Orb is the tier 3 Blood Orb. Or the tier 3. And let's go ahead and upgrade this altar. We'll do speed. Alright, so we'll just get a bit of glowstone. We'll go with like 16. And there's that. And then I guess for blocks, I tell you what, I'm just going to grab a bit of this compressed cobble, because we're going to want that. And I think, let's see, we've got those displacement runes. I think right now, right this second, I want to get some runes of sacrifice. So you can either do this 2 different ways. You can either do this here, the tier 2 altar, or there's this gem of sacrifice, which is tier 2 altar. I just wonder if that dagger of sacrifice is consumed. We'll see. We're going to try it. So let me get an iron sword. And then that should be everything I want. Because basically what I want to do is I want to make some runes of sacrifice. We'll also use the displacement runes and the augmented capacity rune, all that stuff. We'll use that in the next tier of the altar, and then I also want to use some sacrifice runes. Because we're going to start sacrificing mobs very, very soon. We're also going to have to go grind up Tartaric gems in just a moment. Alright, so we'll go ahead and plan this out for the tier 3. Right now it's a tier 2, so... Rune of augmented capacity, we'll go ahead and run that along. I'm not going to do any kind of like special pattern right now, because right now we're just kind of building the altar, right? We're not really decorating it or anything, because like I said, I may end up moving this. We'll see. We'll see what we decide to do. And let me go ahead and throw this iron sword into here. There's that. And yes, I'm going to set it up right there. We'll set these drums, or that drum right there, and I'm actually going to go ahead and pump this out into this drum, okay? Because this stone drum, it's too small to really be a whole lot of use, in my opinion. So there's our dagger of sacrifice. Let's set that right there. We'll use it as well. Especially once we get all this automated. It'd be great. And then I'm going to want some runes of sacrifice. So let's go get those real quick. I'm going to want... how many of those am I going to want? 5, 10... 11? Yeah, just 11 of them. So 3 crafts of that. So depending... I don't know if it's going to consume the dagger of sacrifice, right? Also, we are going to need a better orb. I just realized that. So we're going to need a block of redstone for that. Okay. So our tier 2 blood orb, let's grab that real quick. I'm actually going to run over and get the stuff to make another Tartaric gem. Because we are going to need another one of those. Because like I said, it's better to keep 2 of them and just kind of tear them up together. And I am going to need a little bit of wheel in this. So let's go... There's our Tartaric gem. There's our sentient sword. And, oh, I need to put luck on this, don't I? Okay, we'll wait just a second on the Tartaric gem, actually. Because I am going to want luck on that before I even mess with wheel grinding at all. Anyway, there's our new blood orb. Grab that. And now we really don't need this weak one anymore. Oh, shoot. I forgot to... I don't think we have any wheel in here that's... No, okay. I forgot to bring a crafting table over here. I brought everything to craft the sacrificial things, but forgot the table itself. Assuming that it doesn't consume our dagger. That's the only thing I'm curious about. So there's our gem of sight. It does consume the dagger. Okay, that's fine. It's still easier to craft that than messing with the, you know, the reinforced slates and all of that. So I'll just get like 3 more swords. And before we go out and grind wheel for the first time, let's go ahead and get ourselves an enchanter. It's just diamonds, a book, some dark steel. It's not terribly expensive. I think that I've got dark steel. Okay, so we're going to get 2 books to start with. And then we're going to want the enchanter. And then I'm also going to want a written book, right? Or not a book and quill, or whatever it's called. Yeah, book and quill. Okay, I was about to say, it doesn't take an infernal feather, does it? Where did my other book go? Why does it do this? Oh, wait, I used it to craft. Never mind. I'm losing my mind. Ignore me. We'll put the enchanter down, like, right here. We're going to need, I believe it's lapis. A bit of that. There's that. There's that. So, looting 3. There we go. And my anvil. That's not my anvil. There's my anvil. Okay. We're going to put that onto our sword. 6 levels. That's fine. So we'll have looting 3 and sharpness 25. And then, of course, we can repair this in our item repairer. So Alright, so since we got that, let's go ahead. I'm going to need just a little bit of wheel to actually make our other Tartaric gem. So I'm just going to go find some mobs somewhere. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Okay, we got 1.5 in our Tartaric gem. That's plenty. Okay, now we have 11.96. Like it, just a couple mobs, it was just like, just jumped right up. I actually used up most of my XP levels that I had built up, but that's fine. Because I got all those built up pretty quickly mining. Because with, you know, with Vein Miner, it doesn't take a minute to mine up a ton of stuff. So, it's not a problem. Okay, so there's our other Tartaric gem. And now what we want to do is we actually need to level these up a little bit. Best thing to do is keep your Tartaric gems leveled up on par with your Blood Altar. But we're actually going to have to grind up a little bit of wheel. We need at least a minimum of 60, and it's going to drain 20 off those, so that's fine. One thing I do want to do is I want to run these, of course, Blood Moon. I do want to run these swords through this so we can make the last of our sacrifice runes. Okay, I've got everything now that we should need to go ahead and make the last of our runes. So let's get that stuff crafted. Runes of sacrifice, gems of sacrifice. There's that. And then one more. There we go. Okay, I actually like that crafting recipe a lot. Is it only for... No, we can make self-sacrifice using sacrificial daggers. And reinforced slates. Did I use... Okay, I did use reinforced slates. Displacement runes can come from loot bags. Most of these can come from loot bags, I think. But yeah, it looks like mainly the sacrifice type runes is what you can get with that altered crafting recipe. I do like that a lot, though. I do like that quite a bit. It makes life a bit easier. Well, anyways, now that we've got that, let's go ahead and build out the rest of this altar real quick. I know there's a blood moon. I apologize. Glowstone on that one. And I'm just going to do all the rest of these in runes of sacrifice, just because... Why not? Why not? Oh, there we go. We should have a tier 3 altar now. So, our next orb... I think we're just about done with blood magic for today, and we'll get into it more probably next episode. But the Magician's Blood Orb takes 25,000 LP, and then a block of gold. So, for this, honestly... Well, we've got all that blood stored inside the drums, which will work, I think. I think the displacement rune should be fast enough to keep up with our runes of speed. I should think. So let's get... you know what? I have gold on me. I don't know why I came over here for that. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we are going to... For right now, we're just going to extract all the life essence out of this. Oh, that's actually pretty slow. Those displacement runes really don't do as much as I was thinking they would. Okay, really, I mean, we've got enough life essence that if this thing was filled, it would be fine. So what we're going to do is we are going to set that to insert for right now. I'm actually going to fill it up. 11,000 millibuckets. That'll be good. We'll set this to extract always active. Extract always active. Making this blood orb can be a pain because it actually requires more than what you can normally have at this point. So, but I think between our drums and our regeneration and all that stuff, we should be able to keep up. If not, I can remove the speed runes temporarily, but we'll see how this goes. So, go ahead and pop that. Okay, yeah, I think we're going to remove the speed runes for right now. And we'll just replace them with blank runes because if the thing was a little bit slower crafting, then I think we'd be okay. Sometimes, like, basically this one ritual, this is like the one time where too much speed is like really, really bad in my experience. Because this thing's actually a pain to craft sometimes. Okay, now we should be ready to go now, I'd say. So we'll go ahead and throw that in there. That's a lot more reasonable of a speed for us to handle. Normally I would set up a mob spawner or something. And just kind of let it build up with mobs. Is normally how I do it, but in this pack, I think we'll be okay with this. It actually should be fairly close to changing over, actually. There we go. Haha! There's our new blood orb. Awesome. Okay, so now I can change these over. That's really the only time I think that we're going to need, like, the lowered speed. Cool, thanks for that. Whatever you're doing down there, thank you so much. See, what I'm thinking is we'll probably end up, like, long term, we're going to build this altar with a bunch of, like, displacement and stuff like that. And have it just producing blood. Runes of sacrifice and displacement, pumping it out. And then it's going to pump into a different altar that's built for crafting, I think is what we're probably going to do for that. And we'll have maybe an automated one and a manual one or something, we'll see. Probably have one just for our blood network as well. So blood magic mastering, the Richie ritual. Go ahead and get our ritual diviner for dusk. Awesome. So they want us next to make 24 reinforced slates. I have 10. Not quite 24 though. That's fine. I believe generating power has a quest for us. Magician's blood orb. Oh. They're going to give us a beneath teleporter and a house pet. You can teleport home, and you can set your home point with a sneak right click. Requires ender nuggets for that. That's fine. Alright, so for this quest they want us to go to the beneath. Which personally I don't know that I'm ready to go to the beneath, or have any desire to go to the beneath right this second. But we've got a tier 3 altar, so that's awesome. That's good. And we've got our ritual diviner. Alright, so what I'm thinking is, I think we're done with blood magic for right this second. I am going to grind up those Tartaric gems and go through the whole process of upgrading those off camera. It's not very exciting. Basically, you grind up wheel, then you craft it into the next one. And you have to do that for both your gems, then grind up wheel and craft it to the next one, and so on. Not very exciting at all, so just going to throw that stuff in there for right now. And I'm just going to hold on to that beneath teleporter for the time being. Alrighty, I pulled up those test dummies, and there's a weird bug in this pack. And I know it happened because I only ever crafted one test dummy, right? And whenever you pull these up, like right now I have 3, and now I have 5. They double anytime you pick them up. So, and they count towards the quest. So just a heads up on that. You don't have to make more of those. You can mass produce them. But anyway, it's really not an expensive recipe either. It's just wheat. But we're going to go ahead and turn this quest in. We're going to, for the rest of the episode, we're just going to work on just a little bit of Ars Magica, because I do want to get some stuff done on that. But we'll go ahead and get our 2 artifact loot bags. And by the way, if you hear some noise, I stepped outside just a minute ago, and there was like this stray cat, and I brought him in because I felt bad because he was hungry, you know, so I was feeding him. My dog's having a fit, and the cat's wanting to come over here with me because it's like really, really sweet. And it's wanting to come over here, but the dog's between me and it. And so it's like meowing, and the dog's like whining. So it's great. But anyways, this quest here, they want us to get an Oculus. Or we're going to get an Oculus, but we need 4 stone bricks, we need a piece of glass, some blue topaz, and some chimerite. I'm assuming that we probably have to turn this stuff in, maybe? Let's see, there's blue topaz, chimerite, what was it, 1 piece of glass, and then some stone bricks, and we can turn that quest in. There we go, and claim. Did it take that? Yeah, okay, it took the stone bricks and everything from us. That is fine by me. It's perfectly fine. Okay, so we got our Oculus, and actually let's go ahead and open these loot bags, by the way. We got some spell parchment. By the way, I got an advanced solar panel out of a loot bag. That was actually kind of nice. Oh, we've actually got an imbued slate here, and a mechanical user. And then we have Star Shower. I actually think we have one of those already, but maybe? We could actually cast that right now, too. Pah! Actually, I should go up here to show you that spell. Basically, it summons stars from the sky. And now that we have enough mana to cast it, it's actually a nice spell. You know, we're getting to the point where damage spells will become a little bit more viable. Now, this one's not really one that you could use underground all that well, but above ground, it's actually kind of nice. It should be quite a bit of damage. Sadly, I don't think I can actually look at the damage on it from here, but that's fine. So we'll go ahead and set up our Oculus. I'm just going to set it up here for now, and we'll end up moving it to an actual Ars Magica area. So right now we have 22 blue points and 1 green point. Alright, and actually, what's the next quest they want us to do? I want to see what that is. What's a wizard without a wardrobe? They want us to get 6 spell parchment, and they're going to give us voidstone, 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 whitestone bricks, and diamond chisel. Okay. Oh, we actually have 6 spell parchment. That works out perfectly. Alright. So, Ars Magica. We'll go ahead and turn that in. And we got our chisel and voidstone. We'll use that for probably for building. I'm not for sure just yet, because they're wanting us to set up an area. We'll do that, but not just yet. During the next build video. Okay, so for this, they want us to make 6 book and quills. I figure as long as we can, we'll just kind of bust through some of these quests. I'm actually just going to turn all this into paper so that we've got a bunch of paper in here, because we're going to need it. Alright, so books, let's go ahead and get 6 of these, and then book and quills, we'll get 6 of those. And we'll go ahead and detect submit. We get a blue infinity orb. Okay. So we'll go ahead and pop that, and that gives us a blue skill point. And then next up, Great Balls of Fire. They want us to make 6 magic walls, and they're going to give us a green infinity orb, which is actually pretty nice. We actually have a fair few blue ones, but this takes Ventium dust and stone. Okay, what would be the best way to process Ventium dust? Crusher, alloy smelter. Okay. Not a whole lot of options. We could double it in the crusher. I'm not even going to bother doing that because my crusher's over there and it's set up for sugarcane. I don't even want to mess with it. And you can't use the sag mill. Where's my other backpack? Oh, there it is. It was in the drawers and it just... Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take that hammer, and we'll get a couple pieces of this Ventium, and then we'll just break it down. I mean, I know I can double it, but there's a bunch in the mine. I'm not that worried about it. And you can make Ventium seeds, so there's that too. So we'll go ahead and get our 16 magic walls. I actually like these blocks a lot too, so. Alright, and there's our green infinity orb. We'll go ahead and pop that one. And then next up, let's see... like a toolbox. They want us to get they want us to get 16 Ventium dust, and they'll give us an arcane spell book, which we actually already have one. Okay, maybe I will double this, just because. So we got our 16 Ventium dust, and they're going to give us an arcane spell book. Oh, it's a soul-bound one. Okay. So I may actually move all my spells over to that arcane spell book, in fact. I've got all these books and quills now. I'm just going to throw them in there for the time being. And all this stuff, I'm going to throw in there as well. Okay. So next up, what do they want us to do? Okay, basically they just want us to get a torch, some oak wood slab, or any kind of slabs, feather, and some oak wood planks. Okay, I did go get some oak because I don't have any oak. So what all do I need? 3 oak wood planks, 3 slabs. So there's that. And then my slabs I'll just make out of something else. And so we'll go ahead and turn that in. And we get an inscription table and an inscription table tier 1 upgrade. Okay. So for right now, we'll set down our inscription table just right here. And then we'll right-click it with the tier 1 upgrade. Alright, now to actually use this thing, what's the next quest by chance? We'll go ahead and check that real quick. They want us to get 2 witchwood saplings. They're going to give us some potions of fire resist and legendary loot bag. Well, we've already got 8 witchwood saplings, so we'll go ahead and turn that in. There we go. And let's see what we got in our loot bag real quick. Guardian leggings, greenhouse glass, lava sword, and a protection wand. Ooh. I wonder if the protection wand would work on our base. Because really, if it did, because it shouldn't be able to be broken, right? So technically you could build a base anywhere, get a protection wand, build a base anywhere, and just protect the blocks around the base and you're fine. Because technically nothing should be able to break that. I will say in my Direwolf pack, the Ender Dragon was able to break it, but that was it. So, and honestly, I think that was kind of a bug. Because it shouldn't be able to break it, but I guess maybe because he just instantly destroys blocks, it's not like a damage to the block or blast or anything. Okay, so next up they want us to get the crafting altar. That actually takes a bit of stuff, and we're going to have to get that before we can... Man, they want like all kinds of things. But it is a multi-block, so we're going to have to get that before we can make any spells. Sunstone. Actually, I think... Doesn't Sunstone come from the Nether? Yes. Sunstone comes from the Nether. I don't believe I have any Sunstone at the moment. No, we don't. And honestly, I'm going to want to build out the room before I set up the crafting altar. So in the next speed build, we'll set up the Ars Magica room, and then next episode, I think we'll do magic next episode. Because I'd really like to get started with Ars Magica so that we can start making some spells, right? Now I will say that right now, our Oculus, I mean, we could unlock some stuff. So basically, I mean, you can unlock like projectile modifier, self, touch, and then right here you can see basically your affinity. I will say that a couple things that we can get that will benefit us right now before we actually start making spells. I'm not going to unlock any of the rest of this stuff until we actually start making spells, until we get the crafting altar and all of that. But I am going to go ahead and get the mana regen boost 1. So we'll get mana back a bit faster. Also, mana regen, we'll get the affinity gains boost and the mana regen boost 2. And we might as well go ahead and get color just because, and mage band 1. We'll go ahead and get that. So, because now I've unlocked all my blue points, my natural blue points. Now you can still get affinity orbs, and I know you can get them in like dungeon chests and stuff like that. But once you hit level 20, I think it's like 20 to 39 you get green points, and then I think 40 and up you get red, if I recall correctly. Like I said, it has been a while since I've done Ars Magica. And by the way, if you're wondering what any of this stuff does, you can go into your Arcane Compendium, like modifiers color. You can see it allows you to change the color of your particle effects. It's actually a lot of fun once we get into spell creation and everything. And then talents, Mage Posse. Your talents as a mage have impressed others and your reputation precedes you. You can request that a light mage follow and guard you. This counts against your summon cap. Those light mages that we see running around, if you noticed before, they would say like, well, I don't know who you are or whatever. Now I can actually go up to them and say, you know, come with me, you know, if I come across them. And then, of course, mana regen. We're going to regen mana faster. Affinity gains boost mean that you get a boost to affinity in exchange for slower magic XP gain. I actually tend to like that one because I mean, we're already level 20 and we barely even scratched the surface of Ars Magica. And if I recall, the level cap on Ars Magica, I think, is 50, if I recall correctly. And it's really not an issue, in my experience, to hit level 50. And I think in this pack, we'll probably be using a lot of magic moving forward. Probably after next episode. Because next episode, I'd like to spend... You know, I want to get back into tech a bit, but I feel like where we're at, I'd like to continue with Blood Magic and Ars Magica. I would definitely like to get to where we're making some spells. So, I think that's the plan for next episode. But today, I think it's about wrapping up point, so I am going to end it out here. Like I said, there should be a speed build video out on Sunday. So, stay tuned for that. Also, let's see. I know it's going to be a busy weekend for me. So if you comment and it takes me a while to respond, I do apologize. It's actually my birthday weekend. Monday's actually my birthday, but we're kind of celebrating it this weekend and everything. I'm going to see Wonder Woman on Saturday, so super excited. I was going to go Friday, but opening nights, you know how that is. It's always like cram-packed. Saturday's probably still going to be cram-packed, but I figured I'd rather go Saturday, honestly. Plus, tomorrow, when it comes out, we are actually having people over and stuff like that. So, Saturday works out best for me. But I'll still be around, you know. I'll still be working. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. Next episode, like I know I said we're going to get into Blood Magic and Ars Magica. The plan is we're going to get into Ars Magica, set up the multi-block, the crafting altar, make some spells and all that fun stuff. And also with Blood Magic, I'd like to get blood automated, into rituals a little bit and get our tier 4 altar. I don't know if we'll summon meteors just yet. We might. We'll see where we stand on time. But I do want to definitely get blood automated. I want to get a system set up for getting... I may set up a system for wheel. I don't know. Because the thing is, we'll probably automate wheel and crystal farming and stuff within this pack fairly quickly. I don't know for sure if we'll set up a system to make getting wheel easier with like spawning mobs or not. I mean, it's really not an issue to get mobs. I can just go down there and there's a billion of them. So I may not even bother with it in this pack, honestly. But we'll see. We shall see. But anyways, that's the plan for next episode. In the next speed build video, we are going to be focusing on room floors, setting up a room for Ars Magica, working on some of the towers, hopefully some of the cardinal towers, because I do need to get some of those worked on. Yeah, lots of work to do. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you guys next time, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you guys are going to see Wonder Woman, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm sure I will, for sure. And anyways, until next time, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.